Okay, this is term 2, week 8, math CA. My question 1 got skipped, so I'm not gonna do it, so please make sure you do it yourself. It's a pizza question. Question 2, it's not that much new things, not that many. We can get it done very easily. Okay. A memory card is a small digital information storage device. Joanne has a memory card that stores music and photos. The memory card has 1 gigabyte, which is 1000 megabytes, and the graph below shows the current memory card status. Joanne wants to transfer a new music video of 300 megabytes onto her memory card. Since there's not enough free space, Joanne decides to delete up 2 videos to free some space. The following shows the videos on her memory card and their sizes. So, which 2 videos is it possible for Joanne to delete to have enough space on her memory card to add a music video? So, the first thing is she needs to add something of 300 megabytes, but she only has 195 free space. So, do 300 minus 195, you get 105. Yani she needs to free up 105 more megabytes, right? So, any 2 videos add up to more than 105 megabytes. 4 and 5, if you add them, you're gonna get 97. 3 and 4, if you add them, you get 105, so that's correct. 6 and 7 would be wrong because you're gonna get 78. Later, Joanne deletes some videos and some photos, but adds some new files. The new memory card status is shown in the table below. Okay, so this is Joanne now buys a new memory card with a capacity of 2 gigabytes, which is totally empty. Joanne transfers the content of her old memory card onto the new one. Which one of the following graphs represents the new memory card status? Obviously, here we have the memory card status before buying, right? Like, here we have free space of 146. Hella, when she buys capacity 2 gigabytes, okay, and she transfers everything on it, how much free space is there gonna be now? Is it can't be 146. Hella, you transferred everything to 2 gigabytes. You guys know here it was 1 gigabyte capacity, right? Hella, when you transfer to 2 gigabytes, out of the 2 gigabytes, 1 gigabyte will be occupied from this, and the rest will be 1 gigabyte, which is free, right? So for that reason, we're gonna have 1 gigabyte free space from the empty space remaining, plus the free space originally from the first memory card. So it's gonna be 146 plus 1000. So you're gonna have 1146 free space. So it's obviously not gonna be A or C. So it's gonna be either B or D. Let's see which one. Let's see videos now. Videos 750, photos 104. So obviously we're gonna pick part B because here photos is way larger than videos when we know that videos is way larger than photos. Okay. Question 3. Is there another part here? Okay. Question 3. Given that sine squared x is 3 over 8, what is 160 cosine squared x? Remember that sine squared x plus cosine squared x is equal to 1. Okay, so if you want to find cosine squared, I always tell you, knowing sine squared, cosine squared is equal to 1 minus sine squared. Okay, so do not waste time, write cosine squared plus sine squared equals 1, and I quickly in the exam I write this. Okay, and if you want to be even quicker, know that cosine x is equal to square root 1 minus sine squared x. Okay, so we want 160 cosine squared x. Sorry. Don't do this because this is if you want cosine. But they want cosine squared, so we just keep it like this. Okay, so no need to do that second step because then you're gonna have to square again, and there's no point. Anyway, cosine squared x is 1 minus sine squared x. Okay, so you can do 1 minus 3 over 8, and you multiply by 160. Let's see, 100. Okay, question 4. Okay, بلشنا شوي. In ascending order, the solutions of the equation 6 minus 4 sine squared x is equal to 5. Okay, so we have 4 solutions, huh? Type. So over here, let's play around with it a bit, okay? 6 minus 4 sine squared x is equal to 5. What do? Take 5 here, sine squared x there. You're gonna get sine squared x is equal to 1, right? Sorry, 4 sine squared x. So you can get sine squared x is equal to 1 over 4. Type. You're now going to square root both sides, right? To get rid of the square. So you're going to get sine x is equal to plus minus root 1 over 4. You can type what y plus minus. I'm gonna tell you, man, they gave you between 0 and 360. So between any of these. So we don't know which quadrant. Okay, so you're gonna solve once. You're gonna solve for two cases. So you're gonna solve for the first case, sine x is equal to 1 over 4. And the second case, you're gonna solve for sine x is equal to negative 1 over 4. Easy. Okay, now I'm pretty sure you guys all know how to use the shift sign function on your calculator. Make sure you're in degrees. So you do shift sign 1 over 4. You get 14 point. Whoa, why is that wrong? Square root of 1 over 4 is not 1 over 4. It's 1 over 2. Sorry. Yeah, so 1 over 2. Yeah, if I get 30. You guys know, so the first solution, you're going to get 30. And then over here, I'm going to do negative 1 over 2. You're going to get x is equal to negative 30 degrees. Okay, so you're going to tell me what you did. Okay, we have a few problems. First problem, I'm seeing 4 boxes. Why do I have only 2 solutions? That's the first thing. Okay, first thing, by the way, sine x, it always has at least 2 solutions. Okay? You're gonna get theta and 180 minus theta. Okay, so anytime you get an answer for sine x, you do 180 minus that answer. So you're gonna do 180 minus 30. So we're gonna call x1, then x2 is equal to 180 minus that answer, which is 150 degrees. Over here, you're gonna get, also by the way, plus, 360k. I forgot to mention this. Always with every answer you get, plus 360k. Okay, always. What's x2 gonna be equal to here? Okay, let's say x1 is negative 30. x2, we said 180 minus answer, so 180 minus 30 is equal to 210 degrees. So you're gonna tell me, why isn't there negative 30 in the answer? Well, I'm telling you, it's between 0 and 360. So this over here is rejected. So you're gonna tell me, وليد, من وين جابوا لك عيد 330? Okay, this is, usually we ignore 360k when solving in between the interval 0 and 360 degrees, because خلاص, when you add 360, you're going to be above 360. But what's the catch? The catch is when you get a negative solution, because there's actually some possibility that when you add 360, you're still going to be in that interval between 0 and 360. So what you're going to do, this k is a number. It starts at 0. It goes up to 1, 2, 3. It continues going. It actually represents how many cycles of the circle you go. Okay? So here's what you do. When working with k, you're going to take it now. You can say for k equals 0, then x1 is equal to negative 30. Right? But that's rejected. Right? For k equals 1, then x1 is equal to negative 30 plus 360. 330 degrees. And then you can try for k equals 2, and you're going to see that it's going to be 690 degrees. Okay, you can see this is way larger than our largest maximum value, so obviously that's rejected. That's actually why we don't usually put k. But for these questions, I'm telling you from now, you must put plus 360k. If this is a written part, you need to put plus 360k, and you have to substitute values of k and show that, when you substitute a value of 1, the answer for x, after doing plus 360k and using k equals 1, x is going to be a number larger than the maximum value of 360. Hence, you can't use the plus 360k method. So you have to show that in written. So, very easy. Do shift sign, do 180 minus, and always add 360. Try adding 360. Although sometimes it may be obvious that adding 360 will not give you a correct answer. It's going to be outside of the interval, but you need to always try it, okay? Please. So you get 30 degrees, 150 degrees, 330 degrees, and 210 degrees. Question 5. If cosine x is equal to negative 12 over 13, and x is in between 180 and 270 degrees, then 26 sine x is equal to what? Okay, the first thing is between 180 and 270. Between 180 and 270 is 180 is over here, right? This is 0 degrees. Okay, 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 here. So we're in between this here. So this quadrant over here, we can actually say it's quadrant 3, where cosine in this case is negative and sine is also negative. Someone's gonna say to why? Because look at the x value here, it's negative, and the y value is also negative because you're below. طيب, how do I find sine x knowing cosine x? You guys know sine squared x is equal to 1 minus cosine squared x. So you can actually just say sine x is equal to root 1 minus cosine squared x. But it's important to note that here you're going to take the negative root. Why am I taking the negative root? Because I told you, we're working between 180 and 270. They put this on purpose. Some people, you take the positive square root and solve and get it wrong. So they put it here negative on purpose. Why? Look at between 180 and 270. You need to know that that means sine is negative. So sine x is going to be square root 1 minus cosine squared x. Square root 1 minus cosine squared, so negative 12 over 13 squared. 5 over 13. They're saying this times 26. And remember, it needs to be negative. The answer needs to be negative. So let me just make it times negative 26 actually. You can get negative 10. Why did I get positive? Because I know when I took square root, I forgot to put the negative outside. And don't make that mistake, okay? Question 6. If cosine x is equal to negative 3, the negative square root of root 3 sine x, where x belongs to 0 and 180, then x is equal to k degrees. What's the value of k? طب okay. For this one, I started thinking, what's the easiest way to show you? Obviously there's a way you can solve it on your calculator. But saying I solved it many ways on the paper. I'm gonna show you what I think is the best way if you don't have a calculator, okay? Cosine x is equal to negative root 3 sine x, okay? You want to solve this, the first thing I personally did was divide by cosine x on both sides, okay? So divide by cosine x over cosine x. This cancels, you're going to get negative 3 tan x is equal to 1. Right? Divide now by negative 3 on both sides. You can get tan x is equal to negative 1 over 3. What is tan? We said tan is, it's sine over cosine. So what over what will get me 1 over root 3? So let's see. If it's 30, you guys know sine over cosine. Sine of what over cosine what will get me 1 over root 3. Forget about the negative for now. Okay? Let's try this. 1 over 2 divided by root 3 over 2. Obviously the over 2's cancel. You're going to be left with 1 over root 3. This is no heck. It's a way to look at it fast. So it's obvious it's 30. But I know tan 30 is going to get me 1 over root 3. شو المشكلة؟ بدي negative 1 over root 3. So here you have two choices, okay? What some people do is they do tan negative 30 is equal to negative 1 over root 3. This is allowed in math. For tan and sine, you're allowed, if you want to put negative on the answer, you can put it into the angle, okay? Now we found the angle. It's negative 30, but we know it needs to be between 0 and 180. So what can you do? For tan x, when you do shift tan, okay, of any, x, you get an angle theta, right? You know how for cosine you do 360 minus, for sine you do 180 minus. For tan, you get theta 1 is the answer, then you get theta 2 is equal to theta 1 plus 180. Okay? Always. This is how it works for tan. So if you do 180 now plus minus 30, you're gonna get 150 degrees. This is what some people do. Also, what you can do, knowing that tan 30 is equal to 1 over root 3, this is what people do. They work with the unit circle, and this is what I recommend always, is understanding the unit circle. Tan 30, it's over here, okay? It's about over here. 30 degrees, right? 1 over root 3. Bidna negative 1 over root 3. So when is tan negative? When is tan negative, right? Tan is either negative in quadrant 3 or, quadrant 2 or quadrant 4. Why? Because here, for tan to be negative, you're doing sine divided by cosine. So one has to be negative, one has to be positive. Here, sine is positive, cosine is negative. So you can get a negative tan. Here, cosine is positive, but sine is negative. So you're still going to get a negative tan. So, until you want a negative answer for tan, negative 1 over root 3. Where do you go? You either go here, or you go here. Obviously, we're gonna go here because we're going between 0 and 180. What angles is gonna be? This is very easy, okay? This, you can memorize this. It's just gonna be 180 minus alpha. Okay, so it's gonna be 150. 180 minus 30. So, another thing you can do. Enter, you know that our special angle is now 30, but you want to change it to negative. Another way, instead of putting in negative, negative, you can just do that. If you want to change tan to negative, you can do tan, tan of 180 minus theta is equal to negative whatever, I don't know. Okay, so if you want to change your tan to negative, you can just do 180 minus the angle. But you're gonna have a calculator for all this. So when you get this, you can just do shift tan negative 1 over root 3, but I think it gives you a negative. Yeah. When you get this, always know for tan, you always add 180. So if you want to use calculator method, you just add 180 degrees. Okay. But Anna, why am I doing this? So you kind of understand what you're doing. Okay. When it comes in an exam or a written part or whatever, you need to understand, you know, how to do it. I never recommend doing it on calculator. So enter when you get tan 30 equals 1 over root 3. Remember, you want to make it negative, so you can just do 180 minus that angle. That's what it's a rule for tan. If you want to make your tan negative, you can just do, or change the sign of the tan, you can just do 180 minus the angle you're using. Okay. Question 7. Okay. What's the value of r for cosine x plus 2 root 21 sine 2 whatever Look. A cosine alpha plus b sine alpha can be rewritten equals c, can be rewritten as r cosine theta minus alpha. Okay, this can be rewritten as r cosine theta minus alpha, where r is equal to the magnitude of a and b, so a squared plus b squared under a radical, and alpha is equal to shift tan b over a. Okay, these are important rules. So what's the value of r? It's just always the magnitude, so square root of 4 squared plus 2 root 21 squared. So let's do it on a calculator. Square root 4 squared plus 2 root 21, hold up, 21 squared, 10. Very easy. Question 8. Okay, find the value of x. Obviously, you need to use similarity of triangles here. You can take, wow, it's been a long time since I solved a question like this on the channel. You can take the big triangle over here. Let's call it ABC. Okay, always with working with similarity, I have to name. I can't work without naming. So we're gonna call the big triangle ABC. We're gonna work with this small triangle here also. We'll call it D and D. Okay, what do we know? We know angle C is equal to angle C. Okay, we know that. Sorry, what am I saying? Angle C. Angle C is equal to angle D. How am I saying angle C is equal to angle C? Because look, we're looking at the red triangle and the blue triangle. Why is angle C equal to D? Because D is also a right angle. Okay, we also know angle A now. It's common in both triangles, right? This angle A, it's a common. It's equal to angle A itself. So when you want to say which two triangles are similar, you can say triangle A. So I'm gonna start with A because it's the easiest one. A, C. If I put C here, I should put D here. Why? Because they're equal to each other. This is how I solve. And then there's only one left. So like this. So now when I do similarity, I actually know which sides to use. Okay, so I want to find x. X is part of AC. What do I know about AC? I know AC over AD is equal to, let's see what we have. We can use AD and DB. Or, wait. Yeah, you can use AB over AE. Why am I doing this? Look at what we have given. Okay, I'm just calling this A, B, C, D, E. Okay, you know, I did a bad way. Let me resolve. When you get this is all you need is just this. Okay, when you get this, you can solve everything else. Okay, we can see AC over, let's say AB is equal to what? AC, yani what corresponds to AC? AD over what corresponds to AB? AE. For fill in the blanks, AC is 4 plus X, AB is 8, AD is 3, AE is 4. And when you solve this equation, you get x equals 2. I'm not going to solve it. You guys are grade 11S. You should be able to solve this, okay? Question 9. Okay, for this one, fill in the blank with integers. Okay, given that x equals 2 is a solution, this is a keyword, of this equation x cubed minus x squared minus 14x plus 24, to the nearest degree, the solutions of tan cubed x minus tan squared x minus 14 tan x plus 24 equals 0 are what? Okay. Can we solve cubics? Did I ever teach you how to solve a cubic? Never. Okay? But you know you can reduce this equation. Why? Because they told us it's a solution. So if something is a solution, that means you can divide by it. So can I divide x cubed minus x squared minus 14x plus 24 by x equals 2? Yes. You guys know x equals 2. That means the root is x minus 2. Right? So we can divide by x minus 2. Either by doing long division. Okay? You can use long division. Or you can use synthetic division. I'm going to use synthetic division because it's a bit faster. Okay? Synthetic division, how do you do it? You list your root, then you list all your coefficients. And you start. You bring 1 down. 1 times 2, 2. Minus 1 plus 2, 1. 1 times 2, 2. Minus 12 times 2, negative 24. You get 0. So it was a cubic. Obviously now when you divide, it's reduced to a quadratic. So it's going to be x squared plus x minus 12. But we're replacing with tan, so we're going to say tan squared x. Don't say tan x squared, never, okay? Tan squared x plus tan x minus 12 is equal to 0. Can you solve this? Of course. Solve it as if it's a quadratic. Which two numbers multiply to get 12? We'll subtract to get 1, 3 and 4, right? So you're going to get tan x and 3, tan x and 4. The plus goes to the 4, the minus goes to the tan x. So you can get two solutions. Tan x is equal to 3, and tan x is equal to negative 4. Can you solve these? Of course you can. Shift tan 3, 71.5 to the nearest integer. You're going to get 72 degrees. What do we know about tan? How do you do it? Tan, the second solution, you do 180 plus. So 180 plus 72. So you get 252 degrees over here. Okay. How about tan x is equal to negative 4? Do shift tan negative 4. You get negative 76. The second solution will be what? Add 180. You get 104 degrees. Okay, so over here, obviously 252 doesn't work because our restrictions are between 0 and 180. 104 does not work because, 104, sorry, as the x2 is equal to 104. 76, negative 76 doesn't work because it's not between 0 and 180. You can type read, there's a third solution. But don't forget, they said as x equals 2. Okay, so tan x is also equal to 2. So when you do shift tan of 2, you're going to get 63 degrees. And when you do 180 plus 63, you get 243 degrees, which isn't in the solutions that, because it's in between 0 and 180. So you're going to get these three solutions. Okay. Question 10. Given tan x is 7 over 5, what is secant squared x? Secant squared x, 1 plus tan, remember this rule. 1 plus tan squared is equal to secant squared. Right? So 1 plus 7 over 5 square, you get 74 over 25. So k is 74. Okay, cotangent x is 5 over 4. What is cosecant squared? Remember, 1 plus cotangent squared x is equal to cosecant squared. So 1 plus 5 over 4 square, 41 over 16. So k is 41. Okay, given sine A, sine B, cosine B, what is cosine A plus B? I'm just gonna write the rule and then put everything on my calculator. Cosine A plus B is cosine A, cosine B, minus sine A, sine B. Okay, so you can do cosine A, so 20 over 29 times cosine B, 4 over 5, minus 21 over 29 times 3 over 5. You get K to be 17. Question 13. Given sine A is 5 over 13, cosine A is 12 over 13, sine B is 3 over 5, what is cosine A minus B? Cosine A minus B is cosine A cosine B plus sine A sine B. So you're going to do cosine A cosine B, so 12 over 13 times cosine B, 4 over 5, B, so 5 over 13 times 3 over 5, 63, K 63. Given tan A is 4 over 3 and tan B is 5 over 12, what is tan A minus B? Tan A minus B is tan A minus tan B over 1 plus tan A tan B. Okay? Remember, sum over product. The sign up is the same as the sign here. The sign down is opposite. Okay? So it's going to be tan A minus tan B. So 4 over 3 minus 5 over 12 over 1 plus tan A tan B. So 4 over 3 times 5 over 12. Get 33 over 56. Okay, is 33. Given sine A is 21 over 29, cosine B is 4 over 5. What is first quadrant? What is cosine A plus B? Cosine A cosine B minus sine A sine B. As I said, you need to find, I said this before, you need to find sine B and cosine A. How do you do it? Let's first find cosine A. Cosine A is square root 1 minus sine squared A, right? Type. So you can do square root 1 minus 21 over 29 squared. So you get 20 over 29. How about sine B is equal to square root 1 minus cosine squared B. So square root 1 minus 21 over 29 square. You get 20 over 29. Whoa, am I tweaking? Why am I using 20 over 29? I meant 4 over 5. 4 over 5. 3 over 5. So you get sine B is 3 over 5. Type. Now let's plug in everything into cosine A cosine B. So it's going to be 20 over 29 times 4 over 5 minus sine A, which is 21 over 29, sine B, which is 3 over 5. 17 over 145. So K is 70. Question 16. Here, how many questions? 22, are? Yeah, 22. This is given sine A is 21 over 29, cosine B is minus 3 over 5. Second quadrant. I'm going to go through this faster, okay? Cosine A minus B, cosine A, cosine B, plus sine A, sine B. Obviously, we need sine B and cosine A. Let's first find cosine A. It's equal to square root 1 minus sine squared A. So it's going to be square root 1 minus 21 over 29 squared. But you're going to take the negative square root. Why? Because we said second quadrant, okay? So cosine is negative, okay? Please don't make sure you get this wrong. Please make sure you don't get this wrong. So it's going to be negative 20 over 29 for cosine A. Sine B, square root 1 minus cosine squared B. But this one stays positive because second quadrant sign is still positive عادي يعني. So square root 1 minus cosine squared b, so minus 3 over 5 squared. Please make sure you put the square outside the bracket, huh? Okay, hey. Now let's see. Cosine A cosine b, so minus 20 over 29. Cosine b, which is minus 3 over 5. Plus sine A sine b, so 21 over 29 times 4 over 5. You get 144. Question 17. Man, this chapter ممل والله. Cosine A plus b, I'm gonna stop writing the rule, but it's gonna be cosine A cosine b minus sine A sine b. Okay, let's go back if you want the rule. So cosine A cosine b, so 5 over 13 times cosine b, which is 3 over 5, minus sine A sine b, so 12 over 13 times sine b, which is 4 over 5. You get negative 33 over 65. Question 18. Given the equation t cosine theta plus 12 sine theta is equal to 7, it's equivalent to root a cosine theta minus b. I told you, whenever you have cosine plus sine, it can be written as r cosine theta minus alpha. Okay, what's r? Square root of a squared plus b squared. So square root of 3 squared plus 12 squared. Let's do it. 3 squared plus 12 squared. You get 153. So it's gonna be square root of 153. Okay, so r is square root of a, so a is 153. What's tan b? I told you tan b alpha, whatever they want to say, or I told you alpha is equal to shift tan b over a. B being the coefficient of sine, a being the coefficient of cosine. So if you want to know what tan is equal to, just cancel the tan, take it to the left. Tan alpha is equal to b over a. Okay, so b is 12 divided by 3, 4. Very, very easy. Question 19. Okay, highlight the differentiation. I'm gonna give you rules, memorize them, okay? d over dx sine x is equal to cosine x. d over dx cosine x is equal to negative sine x. Okay? Integral sine x dx is equal to negative cosine x. Okay? Plus c. Please don't forget the plus c. And integral cosine x dx is equal to sine x plus c. Okay? 4 rules. Obviously, we're going to capitalize on them. Okay? When do we capitalize on them? When you have something inside the function. Okay, now we're working with x. Did I tell you sine ax? No. So we have a few rules. Given y equals 12 sine 3x. The constant, you guys know constants. You keep them to the side. What's the derivative of sine? Cosine. And 3x stays the same. But what's the difference? Whenever you have, remember we used to use 2x plus 1 to the power of 5. I told you derive this. You have to derive what's inside multiplied by the derivative of the one that's on the outside. Same exact thing. Sine 3x is the same thing. What's the derivative of sine? Cosine 3x. What's the derivative of the one inside? What's the derivative of 3x? 3. So whenever you see something other than x inside, you have to multiply by the derivative of it. Okay? So integral of sine ax is actually equal to a cosine ax. Oh, sorry, a prime. Or no, let's say forget what I just wrote. Okay. Okay. So anytime you see anything other than x inside, you have to use it as if it's chain rule. You multiply by the derivative of the one inside. So it's gonna be 12 cosine 3x times what's the derivative of 3x? 3. So it's gonna be 36 cosine 3x. Okay, that's how it works. Question 20. Given 8 cosine 9x, 8 cosine 9x. I'd always tell you, number outside, take it down. Cosine becomes negative sine 9x. Do we have only x inside? No, we have 9x. What's the derivative of 9x? It's 9. So 8 times 9 and times negative is negative 72, and sine 9x. Please pay attention. The number inside the trigonometric function does not get multiplied by any number. It doesn't, okay? That's not how it works. It stays 9x, okay? So yeah, مثلا 2 times sine 9x doesn't become sine 18x. No, it's not allowed. Question 21. Integral 60 sine 6x dx. I told you for deriving, you take the constant, you take it to the side. Same thing with integrals. If you have a value other than x inside, I told you, you have to use chain rule. Same thing with the integral. What we do is use substitution, but a rule can be generated, okay? 60 sine 6x is the same as saying 60 sine 60 integral sine 6x, right? So here's what's the thing. You have more than one value inside. And what do we use? I usually use on this channel, use substitution, okay? So dx is equal to du over 6. Okay, so it's going to be 60 integral sine u du over 6. Now, this over 6, you take it outside, so it's going to be 60 over 6 integral sine u du. What's sine u? What's integral sine u? It's going to be 10 times negative cosine u plus c. What's u? We said u is 6x, so 10 negative cosine 6x plus c. So it's going to be negative 10 cosine 6x plus c. Teachers don't like explaining this method because, in my opinion, they're right, it's a bit long. So you can generalize a formula. And I gave you, it's the simple formulas. But let's say I gave you sine ax. Okay, it's actually 1 over a negative cosine ax plus c. Okay, so if you see any number beside the x for integral, you just divide by it. Okay, so divide by 6 outside, you get 10, then derive. What's the then integrate. What's the integral of sine? It's negative cosine, and the number inside the trigonometric function never changes. Okay, that's how it works. Okay. Question 22. Integral 15 cosine 3x dx. Like I told you, constant goes out. You see a number beside x, you divide by it. Okay, cosine integrated becomes sine, and the number beside the integral never changes. Plus c. 5 sine 3x plus c. So easy. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck in your exam.